Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another Dun Dun anime review. And today we're doing the anime review on Ginban Kaleidoscope, or in English, Skating Rink Kaleidoscope. Sit back and relax and let's get started. Future skater Tazusa Sakurano is on the fast track to the Olympics. As a top contender, her chances rest on a single competition in Canada. However, during her performance, she falls and hits her head on the ice, knocking her unconscious. At the same time, Canada stunt pilot Pete Pumps goes down a fiery blaze. After her devastating failure, Tazusa returns home to Japan. Pilot Teresa. But she starts hearing a voice in her head. In reality, when Pete had arrived at the gates of heaven, he was denied access for his sins. Instead, he was told to wait 100 days and is now trapped in Tazusa's body. Unwilling to let this interrupt her life, even her body is a bit crowded, Tazusa moves forward with skating, all while a pesky voice may just be able to help her achieve her dream. Overall, this is a very short anime and it only has 12 episodes. It appeared October 9, 2005 and ended on December 25th on Christmas in 2005. It is based off a light novel. Each episode is 25 minutes per episode and is rated PG-13. So basically, this is a anime that focuses more on like the aspects of life and death. Also, a little aspects between like the afterlife and focus on the main goal of like competition, the Olympics, and more so that way. The Olympics that she's competing in the 26 Winter Games in Toronto, and she's a top skater in Japan. But the event happened where she fell and hit her head. That put her back sometimes. And then I think in some aspect of this anime, it tells a good story. It's just that the premise is okay. The execution is flawless and handled exponentially, especially when it comes to most of the skating tricks and aspects in the routines of these performers for ice skating. It has some good comedy in it. It's sports, supernatural drama, and a little bit of romance in it. Consider that it is based in 2005. There is still something that could be worked on a little bit better overall. Other than that, let's see how to say this in a nice way. The story isn't really much interesting because I don't, this is just adult on their type of the Olympic Games. The art is pretty much good, and some episodes touch your arms are longer than it should be. The sound is actually outstanding. The opening and ending theme are really what give Ginban Kaleidoscope its name. This opening story is focused on the little meeting of figure skating part. We see the opening theme called song called Duel, and then Pete and Sakurano skating with all the ending theme energy we see in Kaleidoscope. It makes it fantastically spectacle. The characters were alright though. Some of the characters weren't really focused at well. At some point, her competitors were just focused later on in the story because it ain't pretty much focused on the two main characters itself. The enjoyment, it was good in a sense where you can keep a general interest. Basically, we have a stereotypical 16-year-old Japanese figure skate girl with an attitude problem, and Pete Pump, who is a Canadian stunt pilot of the same age, as they're both from other sides of the earth. How are these two related? They share the same body, that's how. And well, not exactly. Coincidentally, at the beginning, they compete at the same time at the same place, and at the same time, they both mess up. Well, Teresa's mistake was minor. Pete cost him his life. However, due to the unknown circumstances, Pete is unable to go to heaven, falls back to Earth, landing in her body. Trapped there for 100 days. That's a little yikes for too close for comfort, if you ask me. But that's how the story really goes. And overall, since it's a very short 12-episode series, it doesn't take that much time to delve into all the side stories and side characters, right to the point. This can be a good or bad thing since it doesn't really leave room for character exploration, but it doesn't make you like scream out your mind. Basically, this anime has used two main conflicts and two alternate endings between these two. Those conflicts being both how the main character deals with the media and how she does with her success and failure as this figure skater. After all, the kind of method can get bland, but luckily the series is short. Throughout the story is less or more pretty less straightforward. That can leave something with the unsatisfying feeling, but maybe that's just me. As I mentioned before, between the two main characters, they seem to be both polar opposite of each other, but as they are opposite attracts, right? Both two share one character in common, that they're determined to help each other out with each other's goal. I find it hard to believe since most time the main character, girl's always yelling at someone, usually Pete, who's in her body. She is loud, short, tempered, and quite childish, but that's what's like about her. I think personally there wasn't anything about her that made her truly a memorable character in its hindsight. But to see them, like, you know, help each other out in a sense, it's kind of funny. Like, look at her. She just already got short-tempered and, like, yeah, that's the spirit. Kind of funny little scene from there. But overall, it's kind of interesting. It is based on a light novel, as I had mentioned before. Overall, it's a pretty good anime. I would give it like a 7.8 out of 10. Pete, who is the comment's host on her body, is a bit more contemplative, and one thing is really, he likes to joke a lot. Easily optimistic, despite the fact that he's dead. I like Pete because he was sort of funny in a silly kind of way, or it could have been because all the English, as the original call is randomly skewed at moments, as it's together as a pair, are a good duo, but not as good as other anime duo, but they're pretty good off the bat. The other characters in the series, the recurring ones, are alright. There isn't particularly special about them. Well, one of them looks like Yuki Onako from the Melody of Haruno Shimazina, but that's really it. The sound was pretty good. I think everyone's voices suited to the characters, and the acting was less or more convincing. Also, one thing about this anime, it uses few English phrases, while normally English sounds a bit weird, but it wasn't as bad as some I've heard. To be completely honest, I've never rewatched all the openings or endings, so I couldn't make comments about them. However, the forming sound, looking back on it, the endings and openings are really sounding well versed for this anime to begin with. Animation was okay. Some of the clothes were weird. There was a bit of reuse animation. Almost during the last episode, there was a bit of a continuity problem in which there were some shorts for a second which color actually was the right hair color, because it's changed every now and then. Overall, Ginban Kaleidoscope was a pretty good series. I wish if they had more time to expand more characters, or that they made it a little bit longer, I would have enjoyed it much more than I actually did. I just wish they'd added more depth to the backstory. I feel like they could like revamp it if they really choose to do it. It's upbeat with a sad ending, depending on your preferences with your characters. It has funny moments. I think what I enjoy most about it, and maybe how it will be for you in general. But I hope you enjoyed this anime review on Ginban Kaleidoscope, or Skating Rink Kaleidoscope in English, because that sounds very much less complicated or in a mouthful to say it out loud. Comment down below if you ever watched this series before, either in English or in Japanese sub. Comment down below which character was your favorite and how you think this anime dealt with the light and depth supernatural topic in this theme. And overall, let me know what you think, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another anime review. And I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a wonderful Black Friday. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye.